How's it going, everybody? My name's Dave Whipple and you're watching Cheap Wheels. Last fall, before it snowed, my F-250 started to develop a really bad shake, especially at highway speeds, and I knew it was time for a new set of universal joints. Today we're going to take a look at that process of changing a universal joint and how easy that is with minimal tools. It's a job you can do yourself and save yourself some money. Stay tuned.
I've already taken the drive shaft off the truck. Let's take a look at these universal joints. See how bad that thing is? The bearings are gone. The post is faceted and pitted and rusted. It's just a mess. So let's take a look under this cap. We can see this one still has bearings. And if you look at the post, it doesn't look bad. But under closer inspection, you can see that it's faceted too. But what happens is over time, the needle bearings get dried out. The grease washes out from salt and dirt and road water and what have you. The bearings will rust and then they'll grind themselves up. They'll fall out of the cap. And then that drive shaft, as opposed to spinning perfectly true like a drill bit, it'll flop off to one side and it'll start shaking your vehicle like crazy. What we're going to do here is we're going to take and we're going to fill these drive shaft bores with a penetrating fluid. And we're going to tap it in, and hopefully it's going to penetrate down around the sides of that cap and help us when we go to drive those caps out. Now, I like to use a socket that is just smaller than the bore of that drive shaft and then wrap that universal joint out. Not just smash it out with a sledgehammer, but give it nice sharp wraps. And it'll start working its way out of there without doing any damage to the yoke of the drive shaft. Well, you know the Meatloaf song, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. This is 3 out of 4 ain't bad. 3 of these posts are in pretty decent shape. The bearings are in decent shape. Of course, you can see that one post is in horrible shape. You can see rust from several feet away. The bearings were gone in that cap. That one post is enough to make this universal joint completely worthless. This one's not great. The other 2 are decent, but it doesn't make any difference. This U-joint's shot. If you're going to try this for the first time, when you take out your retaining clips, you might break a couple of them. That's not that big a deal because your new universal joint is going to come with new clips. So try to save those just in case, but don't worry too much about it. You'll notice that I'm using a puny little ball-peen hammer for this job. I want to tap on that yoke housing, but I don't want to damage it. Save your bigger hammer for driving out the joint. But wrapping around the outside edge, use your little tiny hammer. Now that U-joint is out, what we're going to do is we're going to clean these bores up. We want to get all the rust and all the corrosion out of it, especially in that little recess where the retaining clip is going to sit. A little set of picks like that are just fantastic for that job, getting right in there and scratching those little areas out. You can also wrap a socket with a piece of emery cloth or a piece of sandpaper and kind of get in there and work that bore. See all the rust that's coming off that? Take a look at this pick action. All those little chunks are going to keep that retaining clip from setting in there nice and pretty, so you want to get those all scratched out of there. Wow, that's so much nicer. Now, sometimes when you drive out a universal joint, the body of the universal joint will ding up that bore just a little bit. See that little shiny area there? That's from the body of the U-joint getting jammed down into that bore while I was trying to take and drive that universal joint out. We're going to take and clean that up the best we can. Use emery cloth, use a little file, whatever. Get that burr cleaned up. Make sure you turn that bore and look at every side of it. Some rust is a lot harder to get out than others. Look at this nasty patch. What's really important when you change a universal joint is surface preparation. You want that bore nice and shiny and clean. You don't want to enlarge it, but you definitely want to clean it up. You want to deburr any areas that are burred up. If you file down any burrs and you clean up the bores with sandpaper so they're nice and clean and you clean that groove, you're going to get that new U-joint to go in there easy. You're going to get that clip to seat properly the first time, and it's going to make the whole job easier. Now that the U-joint bores are all cleaned out, we're going to put a little bit of grease in these bores. It's going to help the caps from the new universal joint slide in there nice and easy. It's also going to help them to not seize in there over the long run. This is a greasable U-joint, so I'm going to have to remember to put that Zerk in. We're going to load this U-joint into that bore. Now this is where all that surface preparation pays off. See how easy that cap slides in? I'm going to put the other cap in. I can push these caps in with my fingers. The fit is perfect. There's no slop, but they slide right in. I'm going to tap them just a little bit to recess them down so I can get that clip in. Now that shouldn't be a fight. If you've cleaned the bores, if you've greased the bores, if you have a brand new universal joint you're putting in there, everything should go in easy. If you feel like you have to force or pound those caps in, you've got something wrong. You need to take a look at what's going on. Now I want to give this yoke just a few taps. Just light taps with a larger hammer. I want to make sure everything has had a chance to seat in properly where it's supposed to seat in. On this F250, there's a mounting bracket we're going to have to install the universal joint in that bolts to the back of the transmission. So we're going to do that right now. Take a look at these caps. You want to make sure there are no bearings that are out of place before you install those caps. Either way, the installation process is the same. Also, sometimes you're going to find universal joints that have clips on the inside of the cap, not the outside. Now, once you have your universal joint replaced, you just want to move it through all of its range of motion. Make sure that it doesn't bind anywhere. Make sure it doesn't have any clicks or kinks or any tight spots. A lot of times you'll change a universal joint and it'll be really stiff to move. Or it'll move really easily one way, but it'll be really difficult to move the other way. It's just not settled in yet. Tap on these yokes and it'll help that joint kind of settle in to where it's happy. And don't forget the grease circuit. Take a look at the other end of this drive shaft. See that recess where the retaining clip sits? There's a little bit of damage. We want to take care of that damage so that clip will sit in there when we change this universal joint. So I'm going to peen that out with a little punch. Put a little bit of grease in those bores and we're ready to stick a universal joint in this end. Now the fit of the cap into the bore on this end of the drive shaft is just a little bit tighter. So I'm just working it in with a hammer very lightly. And we're going to press it in from here. Just an average C-clamp. Sometimes it takes a lot of effort to get that universal joint out, especially if you're trying to press it. But they should never take much effort to put back in. They should go in pretty easy. That's where that surface preparation really matters. Once we get those caps pressed in there, we get the clips back in place. This job is licked, man. It's time to put the drive shaft back in the truck and get on with life. Don't forget the grease circ. Now, because one end of this drive shaft has both housings holding the universal joint, we can grease this one outside of the truck. I want to clean up the surface where it mounts onto the back of the transmission. I'm also going to use a new set of retaining straps on the other end of the drive shaft. Reason? With the bolt head, I can come in from the side with a small wrench. With a Torx head, I have to come straight in with a large Torx bit. And the Torx bits that I have, even the ones that are this size, take a 1/4 inch ratchet. And that's a lot of torque on a 1/4 inch ratchet. So I'm going with a new strap kit with a regular bolt style bolt. From there, we just put the drive shaft back in where it belongs and bolt it up. It ain't rocket science. We're going to install our new strap kit with hex head bolts. Once we get those bolts in and the straps on, we're just going to tighten it down really good. And then this job is done. Now that both those U-joints have been changed, I'm taking this truck for a test drive, and it is smooth as butter. Well, as smooth as a 3/4 ton pickup can be. But that vibration in the back end, it's completely gone. What a difference. And just like that, we've got that old truck back on the road. It runs nice and smooth, doesn't have that universal joint vibration anymore, and we've saved ourselves about $100. Just use time, penetrating oil, a couple small hand tools, and a bit of patience. My name's Dave Whipple, and you've been watching Cheap Wheels. Keep your junk on the road. See you soon.